Hello everyone, welcome to class today. I hope you are happy, I hope you are healthy and ready to learn because we are going to wrap up lesson 2, the second part of unit 6 in Smart English 2nd edition level 4. So to get started, we're going to review the vocabulary that we learned in lesson 1. So we learned different activities and things that we can do on the weekends. Now, do you remember the question that we asked, that we practiced asking? If you don't remember, we can go back and look at it. It is, what does she do on the weekend? Or what does he do on the weekend? Or what do they do on the weekend? So we're going to practice those questions and the answers right now with a simple blind man game called On Your Head. So if you recall our vocabulary words, you'll see on the pictures we have pictures with just a girl, one girl, so the she group of cards. Do you remember the action that we had for this one? So what does she do on the weekend? She reads a book. Very good. And what does she do on the weekend? She cleans the house. So we have our she group of cards. We also had flashcards with just a boy, one boy, right? So he, what does he do on the weekends? He plays the violin. Very good. And we had our they group. They group. So what do they do on the weekend? They play sports. So we have 3 groups of cards. And I'm going to put you into one of these groups. So we'll have a she group, a he group, and a they group. So one of the people from that group will come up and I will give them a card. And you will put it on your head so that you cannot see it. And you will ask questions. You will ask questions or make statements. So you can ask your classmates, does she clean the house on the weekend? And they will say, yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. So we will do this with the she group, then the he group, and then the they group. Are you ready? Okay. All right, everyone. Let's get started by looking at page 36 in our student books, page 36. And we're going to start today with our chant. So looking at this chant, what is it called? It's called On the Weekend. So we're going to be talking about different activities that we do on the weekend. So what is he doing? He is washing the car. So everybody together, what does he do on the weekend? He washes the car. What does she do on the weekend? She goes shopping. And what do they do on the weekend? They play sports. Good. Now, we will have in this chant a question and an answer. So listen to the question and listen for the answer. So let's watch the animation together and then we will practice.
Does she read a book on the weekend?
No, she doesn't. She goes shopping.
Does he read a book on the weekend?
No, he doesn't. He washes the car.
Do they read a book on the weekend?
No, they don't. They play sports.
Okay, very, very good, everyone. So we have listened to the chant together. Let's look at the chant in the book. Let me zoom in to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So, taking a look at the chant here, what is the question that they ask in the chant? Let's read it with our reading fingers. Does she read a book on the weekend? Very good. Now, this question is repeated, but it's changed to he. So, does he read a book on the weekend? And the last one, do they read a book on the weekend? Okay. So I'm going to divide you into 3 groups, okay? I'm going to divide you into 3 groups. The first group is going to practice the she part of the chant. The second group is going to practice the he part of the group, or of the chant. And the third group is going to practice the they part of the chant. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to practice that chant with your groups. Try and do it on your own without the help of the book, and then we will do the chant together. Okay, very good, everyone. Now, we're going to read this chant together. So what I would like you to do is we will start by, as a class, asking the question for the chant. So the question here is, does she read a book on the weekend? And then group 1 will do the answer part. So you practice doing this. So group 1 will answer, no, she doesn't. She goes shopping. And then we'll repeat that with the he group and the they group. Okay, let's begin. All right, very good, everyone. Let's look down at the bottom of page 36 at activity B. So here we are going to practice asking some questions and answering. So let's practice answering or asking the questions. So let's look at our example here. With our reading fingers, please follow along in your book. Does he practice the violin on the weekend? Does he practice the violin on the weekend? Yes, he does. Very good. So, we're going to practice this by looking at these pictures. So, this question matches this one, right? So, let's do this one together. Does he practice the violin on the weekend? Yes, he does. Very good. Now, we're going to listen to the audio and answer the question, okay? So let's listen and then answer. So let's practice.
Number 1. Does he practice the violin on the weekend?
Yes, he does.
Very good. So let's listen to it and then repeat after them, okay? And when we go through and listen to these, if the answer is yes, I want you to put a star on above the number or on the number. So you can put a star right here if the answer is yes. Yes, he does. Yes, she does. Yes, they do. If the answer is no, I want you to put an X on the number, okay? So put an X on the number. This will help you remember. Let's begin. All right, everyone. So we've listened to each of these questions and we've put a star on the yes answers and an X on the no answers. Now, I want you to work with a partner and I want you to practice asking the questions, but I want you to give the opposite answer for the answer that you heard in the audio. So for this first one, it was, does he practice the violin on the weekend? So the correct answer was, yes, he does. But the answer I want you to do now is to say, no, he doesn't. Now, so practice that doing the opposite. And do that with your partner, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, good job, everyone. So you've asked the opposite, or you've asked the question and given the opposite answer from what we heard in the audio. Now, here comes your challenge. For your challenge round, I want you to look at the picture and ask a question that is not the picture. So, for example, you could say, does he read a book on the weekend? And what is the answer? No, he doesn't. But I also want you to give the correct answer, just like we did in the chant, right? So, does he read a book on the weekend? No, he doesn't. He practices the violin. So, do that with a different partner this time, okay? So let's switch up our partners and ask and answer these questions using different phrases than the ones we see in the picture. Let's begin. Okay, everyone, let's get started on our activity on page 37. Now, you'll look at activity A here, and we'll see two charts. We have two charts. Let's look at the first one, and you'll see here that the phrase is what? At night. So we're going to ask our friends what they do at night. So, what is this first picture? Listening to music. Listen to music. Very good. So we can ask the question, do you listen to music at night? And you'll ask your friend this and write down their response, yes or no. Same thing. What about here? It's watch TV. Do you watch TV at night? What about this one? Do you do homework at night? And do you eat snacks at night? So you should first write your answers. I'll give you a couple of minutes to write your answers first. And then I want you to stand up and find somebody that is sitting at a different part of the classroom. And I want you to ask them for their answers. Okay? Ask them for their answers. All right, very good. Did anybody find a friend who has an answer that is the same as them? Very good. So, which one was the same? Can you make a sentence? So, for instance, if you both listen to music at night, I can ask you, do you listen to music at night? And you both would say, yes, we do. Very good. So, who has a partner that does the same activity at night as them? Let's hear your answers. All right. Let's do the same activity. Let's do the same thing with the on the weekend section. So you have read a book, play sports, clean the house, and go shopping. So same thing, write your answers to the question, do you read a book on the weekend? So it's not at night this time, it is on the weekend. Do you read a book on the weekend? So first, write yes or no. Then find a different person, somebody you haven't talked to yet, and ask them if they do these things on the weekend and write their answers. All right, and then we will share the things that our friends told us. Okay, everyone, let's do our final book activity today. So let's take a look at the bottom here. We have 4 pictures here. So we have 2 desks and 2 books. So how does this desk look? Yeah, it's a clean desk. Very good. How about this desk? It's a dirty desk. How about this desk or this book? It's an old book. And how about this book? It's a new book. So we're going to point to these questions. I will point to these pictures and you as a group will answer the question. So you can say, it's a clean desk or the desk is clean. So if I point to this, what would we say? It's an old book. Or, the book is old. Now, let's do a challenge. It's going to be random. So I have this dice here. If you get a 1, that means you're going to you're going to make a sentence about picture number 1. If you get a 2, you'll make a sentence about picture 2. If you get a 5 or a 6, I will ask you to come to the board and write the sentence. So write the sentence on the board. So if you get a 5, we will roll the dice again, and you'll get a different number. If you get a 1 through 4, you will write the sentence for that picture. So let's pretend. Let's see here. I get a 1. I will say the sentence for number 1. Let's see if we can get a 5. There we go. Okay, so we get a 6. So now I will roll the dice again. There we go. Okay, number 4. So with number 4, since we got a 6, we're going to write a sentence for this picture on the board. Okay? So we will roll the dice. Each student will get a chance to roll the die, and you will either say the sentence based on the number you get, or you will write the sentence based on the number you get. Are you ready? Great, let's begin. All right, everyone, let's gather back together so that we can do our final wrap-up activity for today's class. So what I will do is I will give each student a piece of paper. And for this piece of paper, you're going to write questions based off of the flashcards that we practiced with today. So you remember we had a she group of flashcards. We had like this, the cards with just the girl. We had the he group of flashcards with cards with just the boy. And we had the they group with a group of people, right? So I'm going to divide you into those 3 groups. And I am going to take one group at a time, and I'm going to hide a card. I'm going to hide a card behind my wall, right? So I'll hide a card behind my wall like this, and the she group, since this is a she group card, they will write a question on their paper. So they will write a question about this card. They need to write a couple of things. They need to write the activity and the time of day. So you can do something like this one. For this one, what is the activity? Read a book. When would she read a book? You could say in the afternoon, something like that. It has to make sense, right? So you could say, does she write or does she read a book in the afternoon? And if it's the correct answer, you get a point for your team, okay? So there are many possibilities for these flashcards. So I will read an answer. So if you write the correct answer, you get 1 point for your team. So we'll go through the she group cards first, and then we'll do the he group cards, and then the they group cards. And the team with the most correct or the most points will win the game. Are you ready to begin? Okay. All right, great job, everyone. We are just about finished for today, but of course that means I have to give you your homework. So, your homework tonight will be from the workbook. I would like you to complete pages 36 and 37 from the workbook for homework, and we will check your answers in our next class. But very important, as you can see, you'll have to do some writing, so please write neatly and clearly. All right, until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye.